Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to head back to Basilisk Gate and over towards the Szarr Mansion. So we'll click the Basilisk Gate waypoint.
With haste.
And we'll just head down the street.
To think, for decades, all we needed to build the steel watch has been sitting there.
So we'll pass the Upselling Tavern, and then we're going to head up towards the Forge of the Nine, where we'll find Damon again. And unfortunately, he doesn't have any further fixes for Karlach. He does have some equipment.
What's up for discussion?
Thank the gods. I should have known you'd make it to the city all right. But you never know.
Let's take a look at what he's got.
Of course. Wouldn't be alive to hold them if it weren't for you.
And we'll sort by value to make it easy. So he's picked up this very rare heavy armor that gives you a constant blade ward and reduces damage by 2. Really good, but we only have one character in the party that's capable of wearing heavy armor. The Legacy of the Masters, which gives +2 bonus to attack rolls and damage with weapons. Very good as well. The Darkfire Shortbow, pretty good. Sword of Life Stealing. These Boots of Persistence that grant freedom of movement at all times, and Longstrider, very, very good. This Unwanted Masterwork Scale Mail, which is similar to the Wantai armor, right? So we get our full dexterity modifier, right? No disadvantage on stealth, and grants resistance to fire damage. It's a sort of a straight upgrade from the Scale Mail we're wearing. And then some other stuff. We're not going to buy any of it right now. We're very close to Asterion reaching 11th level, and at that point in time, we don't really need to buy anything from merchants anymore because he will always succeed at stealing from all of them. And we're going to hop up and run across the buildings here, and we find for the first time that we've got Terra that we could talk to as a merchant. And she sells a variety of stuff. We can trade some magical equipment for it. Or fish.
You. Hello. I suppose. I may or I may not. Depends what you have to offer in return. I have very high standards, mind.
And she doesn't have anything because we got the Ring of Blink from her already, but we can find her at a few locations in the rest of the act. And we'll just run across the roofs here. There's sometimes some boards that are loose, like this one right here, I guess, that there's stuff inside, so we can grab that. Now that we're up here,
Eager for battle.
we'll have Lizelle cast Enhanced Sleep. And Featherfall. And we're just going to leap right up here. We can go the long way through and then talk to the guards, but there's no real reason to do so.
It will happen.
Let's take a look at the difficulty on this lockpick. We have a lot of lockpicks. And we could bring our main character if we want. Or I suppose use the Gloves of Thievery. There we go. And we'll regroup our characters and then click on the door. And that's going to bring everybody inside without having to monkey around and waste a lot of time. This whole area cannot be traveled from, so we're going to step outside because we want to take Asterion on his own quest.
All's well that ends. Not
So
as bad
we'll
as it could have.
separate out and head back to camp. And we could have had Asterion make that jump as well.
Breathe deep and move. Something's on my mind.
Need something?
And we'll have him come in.
But you have so many friends already.
And we'll have him swap out with Lae'zel.
In that case, I'd be happy to tag along.
And we'll leave camp. So here we are. And our group for going through this is going to be Alfira, Asterion, and Jaheira. Will, still at camp, I think. Nope, we left him in the street, so camp is where we want him to be. Alright, so we're gonna head in, and nothing's immediately hostile, but let's make sure that we equip our team. So Asterion's not armed, and he's not really wearing a lot of armor, so we'll give him the Knife of the Unrotten King for crit damage. And Stillmaker in the offhand. Asterion can use longbows because he's an elf, so we'll give him the Titan String Bow. Don't need Bardic Inspiration. We'll give him this bonus to save versus spells. And near the end we might equip him more like a wizard. Does he know Magic Missile? He does know Magic Missile, so we'll give him an extra missile. We don't need the Nimble Finger Gloves. We will put on the Gloves of Dexterity for a little bit of extra to hit. We can give him the Cloak of Displacement, which might help with him getting hit for a little bit. And that looks alright. So our main goal here is we're just going to kill our way through everything. Everyone here is a vampire spawn. And we're not particularly interested in being friendly with them.
Time to press ahead.
So we'll step in, target, and shoot.
Today, another fight.
You sort of fight.
Yes. Master.
Caught in the act of killing. A fight is unavoidable now.
It's fine. These characters are pretty weak. While I'm thinking about it, we'll swap out the Shapeshifter's Boon Ring. And we're going to equip the Risky Ring for now that Will is using. And give us a little bit better to hit value. This area is where we find some of the first upgraded clothing sets as well. So if we wanted to wear the elegant robe, quite expensive at Figaro shop. There's one sitting right there. This area is full of fake walls and doors, so we can just run straight through.
Whatever killed this werewolf burned it up from the inside. Its throat and innards are more liquid than solid.
So we can see right through this one. If we step a little bit closer, we can just move this out of the way and walk straight through. And did we leave Jahira outside, did we? I think we might have. We did. We'll have her step back inside.
Let's get going. These boots have seen everything. That door is saturated with necrotic magic.
It sure is.
Resistance.
Your violence hasn't gone unnoticed. It's about to be returned in kind.
And there's a fake door here.
One of Cazador's cheapest tricks. An illusionary wall. Behind it is the kennel. A fetid little cell he throws into when displeased.
And we'll shift into owlbear form. There's a guy right behind the door
I have a lot on my mind. And well, in it.
who's going to try and sneak up on us. We can see him right here. If he doesn't show up, then for your group, then you can just fireball with the fire elemental. So we'll choose Crushing Flight. Take a look at his sight line,
Step quick.
and we're able to get out of it. We'll use Cunning Action to hide, and then we'll take a shot at him. Not at Jahira, though. $10 points, another 15 from the sneak.
Time to push my luck again.
Our main character is not too far away, not too close, so that's a good spot for us to be.
Onward.
This guy's wearing quite a bit in the way of armor, so he's hard to hit. Even with all of that, our Tavern Brawler gives us a pretty good chance to hit. And we'll see if we can find, another spot to jump, just to hit him again. Wondering where we lost our fire elemental. Oh, a ways back. Okay, over by Damon's place. Oh yeah, right. Forgot. I keep saying that. They can't jump, so that's all right.
We were going to be friends.
The water elemental also has area of effect attack, so you could just use that to reveal this guy. He's always in the same spot. My recommendation, bring your fire elemental with you.
Anything of use?
And we'll run over, and we want the family ring
There's an inscription on the ring.
and the key.
I don't recognize the language, though. At the ready.
And we'll link the group back up. And here we need to run in and undo a curse, or just be really, really fast. let's real quick and see if we've got a scroll of remove curse. We do, so we'll let Asterion take care of this one. So I don't need to mess with pets. So we're going to open the door, rush in, and cast remove curse on the body that's inside.
Let's see here.
You'd think that Asterion would be more inured to undead type stuff, but seemingly not.
I
Okay,
entertained our
and somehow
ideas
we're
until
not able to
Cazador
cast
appeared and
scrolls.
took them away. But
We're not proficient with something. Ah, the helm. Okay, well that's my fault entirely. Well, rather than
Never a dull moment.
take more damage from that, we'll send it back to Alfira. And I leave these sorts of things in because everyone makes mistakes. So we'll just run in
These have seen everything.
and cast it on the body. And that's it. So the hazard is now gone. Again, lots of the upgraded clothes in the closets here if you're interested. We just want this book. That's the thing that we actually need. I guess I'll grab the outfits. Maybe we'll play dress up for one of the other videos. We'll just send them to camp for now. We need to read this book,
I've seen this language before.
and we learn a little
Inscribed
bit.
on the Szarr's signet ring, I think.
And we'll pull our party back together and head back upstairs. And I'm taking a wrong turn. Oh, yeah, here we know. We need to come up to the seal door that we saw when we first got here. And we'll use our Song of Rest. Well, first things first, we'll just have...
Wherever we go, ye gods,
Alfira.
let there be something great.
So Jaheira will undo, and we'll cast Conjure with a Being to get a Dryad, and we'll have the Dryad summon as well.
Let's move.
And we'll restore some health.
Horrors waiting for us.
The door is covered in intricate text, but you can't see anywhere a key might fit. Only a small round hollow engraved with a family crest. Looking closer, you recognize the writing. It's the same Cazador script from the dictionary you found.
We'll take the option that allows us to open the door.
The ring slots perfectly into place, and the door swings open.
And inside this room, we've got a bunch of werewolves and wolves and bats. So we'll throw a spike growth in front of the door. That you can see that there's a door hinge there, so we're going to try to miss that.
Can't give up now.
And we'll just shoot at the dogs to get the battle started. So, starting with Asterion, we'll take a look at what scrolls we've got. And specifically what we're looking at is like wall spells or fireball, stuff like that. So if we type in wall, we see we got 7 scrolls of Wall of Fire. We'll cast one of them here. We may need to reposition to get better line of sight.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
We'll have Alfira take a couple more shots,
I think I could go another round.
and we'll just have Jaheira wait. And we'll see if we got the fire across far enough so these bats actually have to go through it. Looks like a couple of them made it. We will recast our spike growth because it does a little damage when we do. And then we'll warp our elemental in. And do a little damage with its breath weapon. We'll try to take a shot at this one that's run all the way in, but it's immune to bludgeoning damage. Alright, so here we are. We'll drop back to our in-hand weapons. We're not going to do attack with both, so we'll take a stab and sneak attack on the crit. That's going to definitely take care of him. We've got the offhand attack. We'll try to hit this bat. Great work.
Is ever easy.
We'll see if Alfira can shove this guy back through the wall of fire. We're really, really good at throwing and shoving with Alfira.
Death greets us all, but not today.
Yeah, we're good. We'll just have Jaheira burn her turn. These dogs very much do not want to go through the spike growth and fire. And we'll recast the spike growth now, and we'll just put it all around the dogs. And we'll have the elemental warp past the wall of fire so that it doesn't have to walk through it. And it'll spread and hit all 3 of these. And then back up. And we don't need to move that character. We've got a shot with the Asterion. And they can't see past the wall here, so if we cunning action hide, we can shoot and sneak.
Oh, so much for peace.
Still standing.
And we'll
no
just
matter
end our
what you
turn.
heard.
And we don't want to close the door on ourselves, that's why we're trying to ignore the lever there that opens and closes it. That was sort of a happy incident. And then we'll just go to the far side of the spike grove. Knocking it prone is funny. Although we wouldn't have changed what we did. We would have just left anyway. Again, we'll just end his turn. We'll have Astarion hide
Just like old times.
and take a shot.
No.
Still on my feet.
And we'd have to run into the fire, it looks like, to hit that guy, so we won't.
Consider my hackles raised.
We'll skip Jaheira. And I think we're happy with where the spike growth is, so we'll just leave that. And we'll see if we can convince the werewolf here to come in within range of bow shot. Interesting pathing. We'll skip our round. Astarion will hide and shoot. And that's it.
What now?
So we'll cancel the wall of fire and the spike growth. That's more or less the strategy we're going to use to kill Cazador as well. So at this point in time, you should be level 11. We'll go ahead and level up right here. So for our Bard, we now have access to a couple of level 6 spells. We've got Eye Bite or Irresistible Dance. So this can do sleep. It's not as useful as Otto's Dance in the sense that there's lots of things that are immune to these effects, like undead. So we'll take Otto's Dance. Probably won't cast it very often. For Astarion, we pick up this class feature, Reliable Talent. This means when he makes an ability check with a skill he's proficient with, he can only roll 11. Essentially, the lowest roll he can get is a 10. This means that he's just astoundingly good at pickpocketing, since the lowest roll on the die can be a 10. So he can steal practically everything that there is in the game at this point in time. And we can pick any of these spells. It really won't matter. So we'll take Blur, but there's not really a good spell to take. He is, however, really set to take everything from any of the vendors that we might want. And then Jaheira picks up a class feature where she gets a level 6 spell slot, and Alfira got that as well. Some standout here would be Hero's Feast and Upcast Conjure Elemental. So and Will gets an additional Mystic Arcanum, so this is an extra spell that you can cast. We'll take Create Undead, which is not Animate Dead, it's Create Undead. It's pretty powerful. It gives us an extra body that we can field. We'll take a look at what spells we can pick up. Nothing particularly jumps out. We'll grab Scorching Ray, just in case we want to put on the hat of Fire Acuity, and we're otherwise happy with the spells we picked. Okay, so this room has some secrets in it, so you can go into one door and then the other door, and then there's a whole part of the mansion that you can get to that looks like it was part of a longer quest that maybe got cut. We're not going to do any of that, nor are we going to raid Cazador's office. We are, however, going to run over to this door. And step into the office hall, and then over here onto this dais. which we heard about from Asterian's siblings.
Stand on a clean metal platform. A beautiful but antiquated elevator. There are some scuffs to show its age, signs of things dragged onto it over the years. But it seems to be in good working order.
What in the hells? I never knew this was here. This was always Cazador's private quarters. Only he ever came in here. Well, him and the unfortunate souls we brought to feed him.
And we'll descend into the depths of the palace. Here we find Cazador's dungeon and a waypoint. And this is where we're going to end this video, and we'll do the rest of the dungeon in the next one. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.